For more than 4.5 billion years, our planet has not always been a peaceful place. Earth has faced at least 5 catastrophic events, from massive volcanic eruptions and asteroid impacts to extreme climate shifts that wiped out millions of species. Each time, life was pushed to the brink of extinction, yet somehow found a way to rise again from the ashes. Today, we're diving deep into the timeline of these 5 end-of-the-world moments to see how our planet changed after each devastating collapse. Our journey begins around 440 million years ago, when life was still flourishing mainly beneath the vast oceans. The first major turning point, the Ordovician-Silurian extinction event. During this period, biodiversity was thriving until a massive geological event changed everything. The Appalachian Mountains began to form as the supercontinent Gondwana collided with the region we now know as North America. As these newly exposed rocks weathered over time, they pulled enormous amounts of carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere. But more important than the geological transformation itself was the devastating consequence it triggered: a sudden climate shift. The planet cooled rapidly, and water froze into massive ice sheets spreading toward the southern pole. As a result, sea levels dropped dramatically, destroying the habitats of marine creatures such as brachiopods, corals, and trilobites. Around 85% of all species were permanently wiped out during this catastrophe. Life took tens of millions of years to recover and slowly begin spreading onto land. But that fragile peace would not last forever. Our planet was about to face its second mass extinction event, the late Devonian extinction. Around 365 to 419 million years ago, disaster struck once again. This time, the culprit was something unexpected: newly evolved plants adapting to life on land. As plants developed deeper root systems to anchor themselves, they accelerated the weathering of rocks, causing massive amounts of nutrients to wash into the oceans. This triggered severe oxygen depletion in the seas, pushing nearly 75% of all life toward extinction. Although the exact cause is still debated, including theories involving volcanic eruptions and asteroid impacts, the destruction left behind was devastating. And yet, some creatures survived against all odds, including the ancient lobe-finned fish, a species that still exists today as a living symbol of resilience. If the first 2 extinction events were considered catastrophic, then the next one was the most horrifying nightmare Earth had ever faced. The third extinction event, the Permian-Triassic extinction, also known as the Great Dying. Taking place around 252 million years ago, this was the largest mass extinction in Earth's history. Massive volcanic eruptions released enormous amounts of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, completely disrupting the planet's biosphere. In just around 60,000 years, nearly 96% of marine life and 75% of land species were wiped out entirely. At that point, Earth had almost become a dead planet. A small number of species managed to survive, including primitive amphibians known as temnospondyls, which retreated into freshwater environments in a desperate attempt to stay alive. Once again, the planet slowly recovered. Life began diversifying rapidly, but the shadow of extinction would soon return yet again. That brings us to the 4th mass extinction event, the Triassic-Jurassic extinction. Around 201 million years ago, massive volcanic eruptions once again shook the Earth. Carbon dioxide levels surged dramatically, leading to ocean acidification and a rise in global temperatures by several degrees. Around 80% of species on both land and sea disappeared. But the emptiness left behind by this extinction event unintentionally cleared the way for one of the greatest dynasties in natural history to rise: the age of the dinosaurs. Dinosaurs would dominate the planet for hundreds of millions of years, until an unwelcome visitor from space arrived and brought their reign to an end. And that leads us to the final event on our list, the 5th mass extinction, the Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction event. Around 66 million years ago, an asteroid nearly 11 kilometers wide slammed into what is now the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. The catastrophic impact triggered massive tsunamis and sent enormous clouds of dust into the atmosphere, blocking sunlight and causing global temperatures to drop dramatically. As ecosystems collapsed, 75% of all plant and animal species, including every non-avian dinosaur, were wiped out. This disaster brought a glorious era to an end, but it also opened the door for mammals to diversify and, eventually, for humans to emerge. The 5 mass extinctions of the past are a reminder of how fragile life can be in the face of nature's upheavals. From the ice sheets of the Ordovician period to the asteroid impact of the Cretaceous era, Earth has always found a way to rebuild itself after every collapse. Today, as we face new environmental challenges, we must look back at history and understand that protecting the balance of this planet is ultimately about protecting the future of our own species.